It's the 5th of December, 1945. A routine training mission takes off from the coast of Florida. 5 U.S. Navy torpedo bombers, known collectively as Flight 19, head east over the Atlantic. About 2 hours into the flight, the squadron leader reports a problem. Their primary compasses stop working. They switch to backups, but those fail too. The crew is left with no way to determine their actual position. After a few hours of confusing radio chatter as they try to guess their heading, all 5 planes vanish. The Navy quickly scrambles a 13-man Mariner search and rescue aircraft to find them. Within hours, that plane disappears as well. If we look at this map outlining the region where they disappeared, drawing boundaries between Florida, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda, a massive area takes shape. And as the data tally here shows, Flight 19 is a small fraction of the losses. Over the past 5 centuries, this specific stretch of water has recorded roughly 3,000 ships and over 100 missing aircraft. Some of these losses defy all basic logic of maritime disasters. In 1918, the USS Cyclops, one of the largest and fastest ships in the American Navy, carrying 306 people and 11,000 tons of cargo, sank in this exact area. It sent no distress call and left 0 wreckage. When giant vessels and groups of aircraft evaporate without leaving a single body or piece of debris, it leaves a void of information. This total absence of physical evidence provided the blank canvas needed to build a legend. The modern mystery was born in 1964. An author named Vincent H. Gaddis published an article in a pulp magazine called Argosy, grouping decades of unrelated tragedies under a single, highly marketable headline, The Deadly Bermuda Triangle. Gaddis provided no actual explanations, but physical science offers several. Our planet has 2 distinct North Poles, the geographic North Pole at the top of the axis, and the magnetic North Pole, which is what standard compasses actually point toward. When you draw a line marking where these 2 points perfectly align, you get an agonic line. Because these magnetic fields drift over time, the agonic line spent much of the mid-20th century passing directly through the Bermuda Triangle. Any navigator flying over this area using standard equipment would experience severe compass malfunctions, exactly like the pilots of Flight 19. Below the surface, the geography is remarkably deceptive. The ocean surrounding the Bahamas is dotted with vast stretches of extremely shallow water. Historically, ships navigating these areas would routinely run aground on hidden reefs and shoals before their crews even realized the seafloor had suddenly risen. Combine those shallow traps with local meteorology. Florida and Cuba rank among the global epicenters for hurricanes, producing sudden, violent storms and massive waterspouts. Researchers have even explored the possibility of extreme geological events. Large deposits of methane hydrates exist on the ocean floor here. If an underwater mud volcano suddenly released a massive volume of these gas bubbles upward, the water's density would drop, causing a ship at the surface to lose buoyancy and sink without warning. Shifting magnetic fields, hidden shallow reefs, and frequent hurricanes define this region as a naturally treacherous environment. Understanding why the legend persists requires shifting focus from the ocean to the human brain. Psychologists call it the Baader-Meinhof effect, or the frequency illusion. Once a specific pattern or object is brought to our attention, our brains begin subconsciously scanning for it, creating a perceived spike in frequency. Once Gaddis gave the Bermuda Triangle a catchy name, the media and the public experienced a massive frequency illusion. Whenever a ship went missing inside that specific area, it made headlines. Meanwhile, identical maritime tragedies happening across the Pacific and Indian Oceans were entirely ignored. The Bermuda Triangle effectively functions as a mass cognitive bias, operating on a global scale. When you strip away the selective reporting and look at the actual data, the mystery dissolves. Today, neither the United States Coast Guard nor the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration recognize the Bermuda Triangle as a distinctly hazardous area. In this data visualization, based on a detailed 2013 study by the World Wildlife Fund, we can see the top 10 most dangerous bodies of water for shipping globally. As you read down the entire list, you'll notice the Bermuda Triangle is completely absent. Even the oldest pieces of the legend fall apart under modern scrutiny. The mysterious ball of fire Christopher Columbus recorded falling into the sea back in 1492 was scientifically categorized as a standard meteor. The entire western Atlantic is one of the most heavily trafficked maritime routes on the planet. The sheer volume of traffic, combined with harsh weather, yields a statistically normal accident rate. The true mystery isn't found in the depths of the Atlantic, but in the flaws of human perception. Our brains are hardwired to find patterns, proving that if a story is compelling enough, we will convince ourselves of the impossible.